Welcome to the Be Well and Ground podcast, where we come together to nurture our bodies, our families, and our lives in a way that's sustainable, healthy, and full of heart. I'm your host, Emily, and each week we'll connect with wellness experts, passionate professionals, and fellow mamas to bring you practical tips and inspiration on everything from motherhood and health to gardening and low-tox living. This is a space for community where we lift each other up with actionable advice, support, and the tools you need to create more balance in your life. Whether you're looking to grow your garden, simplify your wellness routine, or just find that little bit of peace in your busy day, we've got you covered. So grab a cup of tea, join the conversation, and let's journey toward a more balanced, more vibrant life together. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited about today's episode because we're diving into a topic that literally every woman should know about, but so many of us don't. It's pelvic floor health. My guest today is Lauren, the founder of Uplift Pelvic Health in North Charlotte. We actually met at a neighborhood workout class when I was about a year postpartum, and I immediately knew she was someone special. Lauren is a doctor of physical therapy and a certified pelvic health specialist who's on a mission to help women understand their bodies better. In this conversation, we're breaking down what pelvic floor therapy actually is and why it's not just for postpartum moms. We talk about the biggest myths around pelvic floor health, and spoiler alert, it's not just doing endless Kegels, it can actually make things worse. Lauren shares why seeing a pelvic floor therapist during pregnancy is just as important as postpartum care, and she walks us through what birth prep sessions look like and how they can make labor and delivery smoother. We also get real about balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship, what fills her cup, and how she's creating a space where women from their teens through menopause can get the care they deserve. Whether you're currently pregnant, postpartum, dealing with leakage, pain, or just curious about what pelvic floor therapy is, this episode is packed with valuable information, so let's dive in. Awesome. We'll go ahead and get started. I just wanted to welcome you, Lauren. Thank you so much for joining with me today. And I want to just talk about you for a second. So we met, surprisingly, I was a year postpartum, I think, and you offered a neighborhood, like a workout class that connected with your pelvic floor. I was like, this is amazing. And I went there and I met you and I didn't realize you actually lived in the neighborhood. And I've heard so much great things about you. I was a runner and I had to go to another pelvic floor therapist because after I started running, I had some really bad pain. So I was very familiar with pelvic floor and how important it was. But it was just so great to get to know you, and especially another mommy in the neighborhood, also an entrepreneur. When I chatted with my friend Meredith last week, she was like, I also go to Uplift for pelvic floor therapy. So I thought this was a natural segue to have you on next, just to kind of chat with you more. But if someone doesn't know Lauren, I would love to hear your story. Could you just share a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how Uplift became Uplift?
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it's been that long ago that we met each other at the park. Yeah. One of the many things that, like, since starting Uplift, like, we have done and, like, I have just enjoyed is, like, putting on, like, these events and meeting moms all around the city. It's just been really great. But yeah, so I received my doctorate in physical therapy from East Carolina University back in 2017. From 2017 on to 2022, I was just in sports orthopedics. So just treating athletes or just treating your typical, like, post-op knee, low back pain across the age spectrum. So I would consider, like, sports generalist. So I was seeing a little bit of everything. But then I started pelvic floor therapy, diving into that a couple of years ago, back in 21.
Okay.
And what kind of led me down that rabbit hole was I had these two patients, and, like, I was doing all the things, but we weren't progressing like I was hoping. And so I'm like, something else is going on here. And so I would refer them out to a pelvic floor therapist, but then it was like, oh man, I really want to treat these people and figure out what's going on. And I took a class and fell in love with it. So from there, I dove into more and more certifications, and now I am a certified pelvic health specialist through the Institute of Clinical Excellence.
Wow. I did not know that. I did not know there was so much that came before the pelvic floor education for you. Do you still currently, I might be jumping ahead, you currently treat those other areas of the body as well as pelvic floor, or are you focusing more on pelvic floor now?
Yeah, so Uplift, we are definitely niched into pelvic floor, but when it comes to treating pelvic floor. It really is like a holistic approach because the spine matters, even the feet matter when it comes to like how our body is absorbing force and how we're supporting our core. So yes, like we are pelvic health specialists, but I do still treat everything else in the body. So it's always nice to have just like a general straightforward neck pain come in.
Yeah. Meredith said, I think there was a lot with her shoulder that she was, which is actually a great segue. So for anyone that doesn't know pelvic floor, or this is their first time they've heard about it, they want to dive deeper into it and how that can benefit. Could you describe what it is and why it's so important, especially for moms?
Yeah. So the pelvic floor is a group of muscles at the base of the pelvis, and its role is to support the bladder, bowel, and reproductive organs. So when we are pregnant, those muscles can get weakened, stressed, even tightened. So when we have imbalances there, then that can lead to leakage, that can lead to pain, that can lead to constipation. So for a pelvic health specialist, we are going to help you strengthen. As a pelvic floor therapist, we are going to help you reconnect with your body. So we're going to help you understand what the pelvic floor is, how that relates to your breasts, your abs, your glutes, and how does that translate to functional movements like lifting up your child, so that you're not like repeatedly doing these tasks that are going to stress your body and your pelvic floor and lead to symptoms like leakage, constipation, pain, all those things.
With that being said, is there any common misconceptions or myths that you found that people associate with pelvic floor therapy?
So it's like a bowl of muscles, right? Like you have the pelvis and the pelvic floor muscles sit underneath. So we treat it as like a hammock. So they span from front to back and side to side of the pelvic outlet. Okay. And there's actually 3 layers of the pelvic floor muscles. So I would say a common misconception is that we are all weak. Like our pelvic floor muscles are weak. So we are instructed only to do Kegels. But in reality, that can make your symptoms worse. So that's why it's important to have a evaluation to really understand what your personal needs are. Like, are you weak or are you just so tight that your muscles don't know what to do anymore? They can't support you or help you anymore because they're already at the end of the rope kind of thing. First and foremost, the first step is learning to relax your pelvic floor, be able to move through the full range of motion. So just like any other muscle, these muscles need to be lengthened all the way and can contract all the way. And we have control over that. So I would say the biggest is that we have to do Kegels all day long. Yeah. And that's just not the case. When I went, because I started running, I was too tight. So I had to loosen in order to strengthen. My body was just like, and I was making it worse. Yeah. So I can completely get that. Right. And I would say that like, it's more than just like our movements that can cause tightening. It's our nervous system, our stress levels, right? What are we dealing with emotionally? Are we actually getting quality sleep? Are we fueling our bodies appropriately? So those things also play a role in how our pelvic floor is functioning. We as therapists are looking at all aspects of your life. That makes a lot of sense. I love that it's not just looking at your muscles too, because I have the one I think I went to before, it was just focused on how it's going and not like what else is happening in your life. I think Uplift does a really great job of looking at the whole picture, like what you said at the beginning, of how everything works together, which I think you guys do a really great job of. Yeah. So what would you say? So I'm currently pregnant. I'm about 40 weeks yesterday. And I've always heard about going after for care, which you shocked me too, saying that actually it's important to go during pregnancy. So can you talk about why that's important? For sure. It comes down to connecting with your body. Also, like adding on to the myth is like working out during a pregnancy. So we want to be strengthening our bodies, right? So we don't want to like avoid movement and strengthening and lifting heavy. That's all good things. It's not going to make your pelvic floor worse. But
Okay.
seeing a pelvic floor specialist during your pregnancy can help navigate you and guide you through exercise modifications, right? How can we keep you active as like maybe tweaks and pains come up? So we'll help you with that. But then we also do birth prep. So we will teach you how to breathe and push and what positions to favor as you are laboring to help create space for baby and just make labor and delivery much smoother. I'm sure you've heard of stations, right? The stations of the pelvis and like where baby is progressing through, right? So each of those stations, there's certain movements that we can manipulate our bodies in to help baby go down into the pelvis, rotate into the birth canal, and deliver. So we can help prep you for D-Day, for game time.
For game time.
Yeah. And one of my favorite things to do is for our birth prep sessions is to include the partner. So like teaching them how to do counter pressures, how to understand like the stages of labor. So like your transition stage, right? Like when things are getting close to the end, but woo, those surge of hormones are getting real and you're like, I can't do this anymore. So like, how can they support you, the mom, to get through that stage and move on to the next? Breaking it down and making it very logical, right? Kind of meeting typically the male partner's need of understanding the logic and the biomechanics of the body. So like they tend to really connect on that aspect of the birth prep. I find that they really benefit from sessions like that. So with all of that being said, there's so much that we can do, from educating on exercise, from ensuring that we're not ensuring, but making sure that you are staying as pain-free as possible, because pregnancy does not mean that you should be in pain. That is not a prerequisite that you have to just accept. We can help you work through that.
Yeah. I love the education piece that you guys are adding on to the pelvic floor. I don't know if that's what most people offer, which I think is very unique. Is that something you guys always did? Like when you opened an Uplift, was the birth piece a big chunk of the pelvic floor for a pregnancy for you guys, or was that something that came later?
So I have always offered that. It's something I've been passionate about, just working with the pregnancy and postpartum athletes. So when Uplift first started, I was mobile. So I was traveling to patient homes and treating them within their space. So that was actually really fun, just to implement the birth prep session with the couples within their home where they're comfortable. So yeah, it's always been a part of what we've offered and the education that we want to provide to the community.
That's amazing. I think it's very helpful, especially I wish I did that the first time around with the education piece, along with the physical check-in and, hey, this is what my body is doing. Here's some poses you can do during transition. Here's how your partner can help. Like all of that, I think, is amazing for anyone that is currently expecting. And then can you touch on postpartum? So what does that visit look like? Is it the same thing, holistic? Talk me through what that looks like after a mommy gives birth.
Yeah, so we encourage moms to make a 2-week appointment. And that can be virtual if that just is better for them, because we know it's hard to get out of the house those first couple of weeks. So that first session, we're going to go over your birth story. We're going to like rehash, like physically, emotionally, how did everything go? And then it's really important for us to take vitals. So making sure that we're getting your blood pressure, seeing how that's going, because we know that preeclampsia can pop up even like weeks after. So that's one of our screening tools that we do. And then we are going to do an exam. So really just seeing how your body's moving. What are your immediate concerns? What are your goals? So what do you want to get back to? If running something that's important to you, we're going to make sure that we're setting a plan that's going to work you towards that. So we're making it very individualized to what your needs are. Now, if you are seeing us before 6 weeks, so if you are having that 2-week appointment, we're not doing that internal exam, because we want to make sure that everything is healing nicely, but we still will do like an external visual of, say, if you did tear, just to make sure things are healing appropriately. And that goes the same for C-sections too. So making sure that the incision's looking nice, it's healing well, it's closed. So we're making sure that everything from a medical standpoint there is doing well, and that if we need to refer out, we will. And then we will start getting you moving. So learning how to connect with your body, connect with your core, because the first couple of weeks after birth, you're all squishy in your belly, right? Feels like nothing is there. So we give you tools to learn how to activate your core again.
So we talked about pregnancy, postpartum. You are also a mommy, right? So can we talk a little bit more about how that looks like? How is it like balancing a business that is amazing and thriving and helping women, but also you're a mommy? So how do you talk to me about that? How do you find your balance? We're all working on it, but what's ways that you do, or how is that working for you? Or is there ways that you had to shift now that you're a mom owning a business?
I used to think that work-life balance existed, but now I'm here to say that I really don't think it does.
No.
I think that you just have to be giving your 100% wherever your 2 feet are, right? If I'm here at work, I need to put my PT owner hat on and just take care of business here. But then when I'm home, I need to set my phone aside. I need to be a mom. So I really just try to be present in the moment with wherever I'm at. There's always a task. There's always something that needs to be taken care of. But what's most important, especially when I'm home, are my kids, and making sure that they have everything that they need. So I would say that is a daily struggle, something that you always have to choose, right? And make the effort.
Was there things that you would say that you have found helped you stay grounded when things are hectic, whether it's work or at home, or anything that's non-negotiable for you self-care-wise that helps you show up in both areas whenever you're there? Is there anything that fills up Lauren's cup that you're like, this is what I need to show up?
Fitness. So working out. That is a non-negotiable. I have to make it happen. And of course, some weeks, it's just not going to work out, right? This week, it's my daughter's birthday. So doing all of the things to prepare for family to come in town. The workouts aren't happening as consistently as I would hope this week, but next week, you better believe that it's going to happen. That's definitely a non-negotiable. Going for walks, just trying to disconnect, spend time with friends and family. Those are the things that fill me up. So I have to make time for those quality time, right?
Yep. Quality time. That's good. I think for especially any mom that is doing other things outside of raising children, if you currently work part-time or anything like that, or even if you're a stay-at-home mom, to find those things that fill you up is super important. And a lot of them seem to be fitness, which kind of makes sense, right? It helps that mental health, keeps you it gives you more energy. I just feel stronger. I feel like my mood's better. But I love that you found that and you feel like it's really helping with that balance of juggling everything that you juggle with the business and your kiddos. But with that being said, can you give us a little sneak peek? What is a normal day for a pelvic floor therapist? What does that look like?
Oh man, my schedule is pretty fluid. It does change day by day. So in terms of patient care, we see patients for 60 minutes, so 101 for 1 hour. So I typically see about 4 in a day. So that can be a pregnancy patient, that can be just a personal training client, or a postpartum mom who brings their kiddo into the clinic. They can really vary. So for me, I'll have my patients. I just have a to-do list that I am just constantly checking off. But I would say I start out my day with working out. Then I come into the clinic, take care of patients, and then certain days I am focusing on marketing, going to networking groups, going for coffee with the provider, doing drop-offs of referral cards. So just trying to create as many touch points as possible with people in our community so they know what Uplift is doing and how we can help them.
Yeah, it's a really creative way to market yourself, because a lot of athletes that are also moms do have issues with pelvic floor therapy, and it's a great way to meet them where they're at, educate them, which I think you do a great job of. in general.
Yeah.
But so I guess my next question for you is, what is your typical client? If there's an older mom out there and they're like, hey, wait, I don't have to pee myself. Yeah. Like that. Is there still hope is my question.
Oh, yeah. There's always hope. So yeah, we see across the spectrum, whether it is like the teenager that's having painful periods up until a woman going through perimenopause, menopause. Okay. So yeah, we definitely see it all. And we also see men in the clinic too. So that is something that we are newly offering. So that is a little bit of a different niche for North Charlotte that we can offer. Yeah. Menopause is such like a large umbrella, and there's all these signs and symptoms underneath that umbrella. So whether it is trouble sleeping at night, hot flashes, vaginal dryness, pain with intimacy, constipation, joint pain, those are all things that like can help them navigate whether we need to send them to a referring provider to do hormone testing, get them on HRT, or treating their symptoms here in the clinic.
Wow, that is so cool. You guys just touch on everyone, which is really amazing. Thank you so much for sharing just a little bit of education on pelvic floor therapy, about Uplift, what your goal for your business is. So now I want to ask you some fun questions, if that's okay with you. So these are just sweet little fun ones. Okay, are you coffee or tea? What is your fuel?
Coffee in the morning and then a matcha in the afternoon.
Okay, I see. Now, does this coffee homemade, or does it have to be a certain type from a business, or what's your coffee? Like, is it?
No, I definitely make my coffee at home, but I do love going out to a local coffee shop. So you'll always find me at 77 Grounds in Davidson every Wednesday morning, which is where I'll just do my admin work.
Yeah, actually, I've never been there, so I'm going to have to check it out because that sounds really yummy. Okay, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Definitely morning. I am worthless after 5 p.m.
Especially with the sun going down, my body hurts. I'm like tired. I'm tired. What about a song, podcast, or a show that's been your go-to lately? Because it can change for seasons. What kind of vibe are you in right now?
I'm in my reality guilty pleasure. It's so pathetic. Yeah. Like, I am loving Housewives of Salt Lake City right now.
Okay.
The drama. It's good. So I will say that is probably my guilty pleasure TV show right now. And then my podcast one, if it's not pelvic floor related, it's like a reality recap. I really enjoy hearing celebrity interviews and just learning more about them, and especially entrepreneurs, business owners. So within that space too.
That's awesome. Okay, so this is a great question. If you had a completely free Saturday, no work, no mom duties, how would you spend it?
Oh, it's easy. We actually just did this. Me and my best friend, we left the kiddos with the husbands, and we actually went to the gym. Like, we went and had a workout together. We went for a long walk and just chatted. And for us, that fills our cup up.
That's so sweet.
So that was wonderful. Yeah. And a Mexican afterwards, of course.
That's perfect. Yeah, mine, for some reason, I love racing. So mine would be like, okay, let's do a 10K. Just let me, I don't know. It's so fun. It fulfills me. Okay. What's one thing that always makes you feel, and I put this in there, pun intended, uplifted?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, a little play on words.
Yeah. I would say what uplifts me is seeing women, whether they're a client or whether they are a small business owner, they are like stepping into their strength, right? Like they are connecting with who they are and just being confident in where they're at now. So seeing these patients like come back to the clinic and be like, I had sex without pain this week, and just celebrating that success with them, or I was able to go and run a 5K this week. That's just seeing them reach their goals. Like there's no better feeling than that.
That's so fulfilling. I love that. Yeah. You do a great job of what you do. And I told you, I just started seeing you guys pregnancy wise, and I've already seen, I had the worst tailbone pain, really the worst. And now I haven't had it. So
that's amazing.
I know. I appreciate it. I feel so good. I can squat down and hang out with my toddler without being.
That's right.
So it impacts, I think you impact a lot of lives, because when people are not in pain and they're able to do things normally, it can really just boost their mood and just change their life.
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you chatting with me today. And finally, if you can just share how listeners can connect with you, or if they are interested in pelvic floor therapy, whether it's for them or for their daughter or anyone like that.
So we are pretty active on social media. So Instagram, it's at Uplift Pelvic NC. And then our website is exactly the same, upliftpelvicnc.com. And that's where you can, if you're interested in making an appointment, you can go to our request an appointment tab and fill out the information there. And then we will get back to you within 24 hours. And something that we are really proud of is that we guarantee getting you an appointment within the week of initially contacting us. So, yeah, especially for those who are like, I need help ASAP, we got you. We can do that.
I'll just snag your handle and your information as well. So it'll be in the show notes for anyone that needs to click on it. But thank you so much for chatting with me. And I hope you have a wonderful, her birthday's the 8th, it's coming up, right, this weekend?
It's tomorrow, yeah.
It's tomorrow. Okay, yeah. I was like, my due date. I was like, is he going to be born the same day? I don't know. We'll find out.
That would be sweet.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here with me today on the Be Well and Ground podcast. I hope this episode has filled your heart with new ideas, inspiration, and a little more peace. Remember, your journey to balance is uniquely yours, and you deserve all the love and joy and the calm that comes with it. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd be so grateful if you could share it with someone who might need it, or if you could leave a review to help others find this space of support and inspiration. That would be so much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with heart and healing. Until next time, take a moment to breathe, honor yourself, and know that you really are doing an amazing job. Sending you so much love and light. Have a wonderful day.